living, not just here in New Zealand, Australia, the Commonwealth countries, etc. We've got to stand up and say, well, what can we do to protect those?
That's right. Gosh, there's so much more we could talk on in that regard as well. I'm going to have to leave it there. I'm hard against the news though, John, but colourful comments. Agree with that? We'll talk more on Trump the other side of 5 o'clock. We've got plenty of texts coming through too. With him or against? Can we learn anything? This is Magic Talk.
Magic News and Sport with Team Hutchinson Ford Church Street, the Ford Mustang and Roush Performance Specialists.
From News Hub at 5 o'clock. A massive exodus from New South Wales continues today after a state of emergency was declared by the Premier. The evacuation is being dubbed one of the biggest in Australia's history. Motorists are desperate to escape threatened zones of the state's south coast before extreme fire conditions kick in tomorrow. New South Wales Rural Fire Service spokesperson Angela Burford explains what the state of emergency status means.
And essentially that gives the authority to our Rural Fire Service Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons to be able to make certain calls where required for the safety of the public, whether that be forceful evacuations. So it is indicative of the seriousness of the conditions that are forecast this weekend.
And New Zealand is doing its bit for the Australian bushfire effort. 22 personnel are headed across the Tasman next week with a number of skill sets to help battle the fires. FENZ says there's been no shortage of volunteers wanting to make the trip. There are claims a great white shark that died on a beach in Auckland was deliberately caught and beaten to death. Efforts to revive and refloat the 2.7-metre-long female were in vain. She was caught in a net near Orewa Beach, and though initial reports said it was an accident, News Hub has been contacted by numerous people claiming otherwise. Police can now name the person who died following a disorder incident on New Year's Day in Bowentown, Waihi Beach. He was 56-year-old Derek Han of Ngāti Maniopoto from Te Kuiti King Country. The investigation into the incident is ongoing. Two of the most senior military officials in Iran have been killed in a US airstrike. The strike reportedly hit their vehicle convoy at Baghdad airport. Major General Qasem Soleimani was the main target. He led the foreign arm of the Revolutionary Guards and has had a key role in fighting in Syria and Iraq. Militia leader Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis was the other victim. The Pentagon has issued a statement confirming President Donald Trump ordered the strike. A timely reminder of how important it is for trampers to carry a personal locator beacon. One of them was put to use by hunters during the search for a man who went missing in the Huxley Valley near Mount Cook yesterday. Search and Rescue Officer Julian Tovey says it's a vital asset when you get into trouble.
Tell someone where you're going, ideally carrying a personal locator beacon with emergency contacts, or that is registered with the Rescue Coordination Centre, so we can contact emergency contacts should it be activated.
The man was taken to Lakes District Hospital in Queenstown with head injuries. Aucklanders are being urged to visit the Domain's Winter Garden tomorrow to see one of the rarest possible botanical events. The Morphophallus titanum, or corpse flower, can take 10 years between blooms, the spectacle only lasting for 48 hours. The Auckland plant began blooming late this afternoon and is expected to be finished tomorrow evening. Spectators can expect to be greeted by a smell that is allegedly like a rotting corpse. To sport, and an illness-ravaged Black Caps team is battling against the odds at the SCG on day one of the final cricket test. They continue to toil away in the Sydney heat, but there have been no further breakthroughs for the rejigged visitors. 2 Australian wickets have fallen so far, with both openers departing, one in each session. But Manus Labuschagne has a half-century. He's on 71, and Steve Smith looking settled on 39. So from 95 for 1 at lunch, the Aussies now 177 for 2, approaching tea. Cricket with GJ Gardner-Holmes, New Zealand's most trusted home builder. Expect more and younger Grand Slam winners in women's tennis in 2020. And some of them could be on court next week at the Auckland Classic. 15-year-old Coco Gauff and fellow American Amanda Anisimova, just 18, are 2 of the rising stars on show for Classic boss Carl Budge.
I mean, you only have to look at Coco to see why everyone's so excited. It is Venus 2.0. I think you're going to see the likes of Anisimova, who could well win this tournament. Coco and Bianca lead the women's tour for a very long time.
Serena Williams also returning to the ASB Classic. The US great is the top seed in Auckland. The Wellington Phoenix's New Year signing surge has continued, with the club confirming Tim Payne and Joshua Sotioro have put pen to paper on new contracts. The pair follow captain Stephen Taylor and Alex Rufer, who signed new deals earlier in the week. The Phoenix now have 13 players committed beyond the end of this season. They're sitting in the playoff places after an unbeaten run of 7 games and host Central Coast tomorrow night. And the Auckland Tuatara can take another step towards the Aussie Baseball League playoffs tonight with victory over Geelong Korea at North Harbour Stadium. The Tuatara already 1-0 up in the 4-game series after extending their unbeaten run at home last night to 8 games. Manager Steve Mintz is crediting their fans, who are becoming far more knowledgeable now.
We love our fans, we love our field, we love everything about it, and so playing home is definitely a plus for us. I think that fact that, that we're at the top of the table, that helps out, but you can just tell how much people are understanding it and they're coming out.
And the win improves the Tuatara's season record to 13 wins and 12 losses. They remain on top of the competition's Northeast Division, just clear of Canberra. From News Hub for Magic Talk, I'm Jeff Bryan.
Magic weather
with Tree Tech. Pruning, tree felling and stump removal. treetech.co.nz. Tree Tech.
And for Canterbury, the outlook: a few showers and the sou'wester easing this evening, 8 overnight. Tomorrow there'll be some morning cloud, maybe a shower, then fine with sou'westers and a high of 18.
Turn up the feel good with the music you know and love. Magic Music over on 99.3 FM. Here on 7:38 AM. Turn up the conversation with Magic Talk.
It's Magic Drive with lipospheric vitamin C, supporting heart health and your immune system.
0800 844 747. Magic Talk.
I almost said good evening at 6:05 in the winter. I'd be saying good evening probably, but it might be a little bit early in summertime. How are you getting on? Richard Green with you. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend. I'm here until 6 o'clock tonight.